Oprah finally responded, and I'm going to show you a specific part of that clip, and then we'll talk after.
Well, this is a really great point about being happier in the midst of an onslaught of being terrorized and vilified online.
She just confirmed what I said last week in my video. Multimillionaires and billionaires do not value the opinions of people that they believe have less value than them. They will instead view it as haters, people who are not as happy as them, who are not doing as well as them. In the video that I posted last week, I explained how there is no self-reflection when it comes to multimillionaires and billionaires. I got a lot of hate because I mentioned that I've had family and friends that are multimillionaires, and I know the way they think because I've been in that surrounding and I've heard them talk. And then I got hate, people saying I was trying to show off or anything, but that was not the point.
Megyn Kelly critiques Oprah's closing message at a Kamala Harris rally, calling it overly dramatic. Kelly argues that Oprah's words missed the mark, adding unnecessary theatrics instead of addressing real issues, sparking debate over public figures' influence in politics.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again.
Actually, I'm disappointed. I think Oprah's become a major divider in our country. And I think, frankly, she should be ashamed of herself. And you know who else should be ashamed? Fox. Because I've seen Oprah on Fox about 50 times making the same statement. And I think it's a disgrace what Fox does, because everyone thinks Fox is so pro-Trump. They're not pro-Trump at all. They've put Oprah on all morning long.
Oprah responds to Megyn Kelly's critique with calm indifference, showing little concern for the criticism. Her reaction, as expected, reflects her focus on larger issues rather than engaging in media-fueled drama or personal disputes.
All these celebrities, Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce, Oprah.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again.
You're going to look an audience in the face and you're going to tell them that if you vote for Donald Trump, you may not ever be able to cast a vote again. Who believed that? Who believed that coming from Oprah? Truly, who believed that? This is the kind of stuff that alienates an electorate, that alienates a vote or a voter. Because the freedom that you tell them they have, you try to confiscate morally by letting them know you ain't worth a damn unless you vote the way we say you should vote. Who's going to go for that in a general election with an economy rife with inflation, with over 12 million people coming crossing the borders, with people wondering about their dollars, the dollars that they earn, the dollars that they have in their pocket, the value of that dollar dissipating before our very eyes. But in the same breath, you're telling them that you got to take even more money out of their pocket to finance immigrants that come all across the border illegally at the behest of the Democratic Party looking to secure a voting bloc. Did you think that would work? Did you think that would work?
After casting his vote, former President Donald Trump delivered a scathing critique of Oprah Winfrey and Fox News. Responding to Winfrey's recent cautionary remarks at a Kamala Harris rally, Trump's remarks highlighted ongoing tensions surrounding the election and media influence.
Do you think Oprah betrayed Michael?
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. And I feel like she betrayed not just him, but my family. After he passed, she asked to do an interview with my cousins, Paris, Prince, and Blanket. So my grandmother invited Oprah over to Havenhurst, to my grandmother's house, and they had a sit down. My grandmother otherwise would not have allowed Paris, Prince, and Blanket to do an interview, but because Oprah was being so sincere, she allowed it. And so I feel like we've let her in so many times, and this is how she repays it.
And built trust. I mean, because again, the Jackson family doesn't just let anybody in off the street.
Right.
What would you think Oprah has to gain from supporting a documentary like that?
Honestly, I think this is way more political than people realize. I can't speak for specifically what she's got to gain. I mean, I have my suspicions and my theories, but I think that this whole thing is a move to tear Michael down. And she took the necessary steps to do it, and immediate steps. As soon as we knew that documentary was coming out, that interview was lined up with Wade and James.
But why would
as
she
a
want
follow-up.
Why would she personally want to take Michael?
Well, I was
in?
thinking, well, I mean, we don't know relationships at the top, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know if somebody from HBO made a phone call. That's really how the industry works. But what I found interesting is that when the documentary is coming, then a $100 million lawsuit comes, and then you bring Oprah out to normalize everything. I mean, I don't know. Just strategically, it just looks weird.
Yeah. And then the post that they put on Oprah Magazine, it's time to say goodbye. Like, you're setting the precedent of what you want people to think.
And you know what's crazy? I've never seen them post nothing like that.
Me either.
I just thought that was really like...
It was out of context.
It was very out of context for Oprah. And we posted that, and we posted like her comments where people were like, "You're a snake. I can't believe you. Michael's rolling over in his grave. You betrayed him. He trusted you." And it was interesting because I would not have thought, and this is like during the week where Oprah's stock and Weight Watchers has dropped significantly too. So she had a really bad week. But it's just, it's weird to see, all of these people come after a dead man.
Stephen A. Smith calls out Oprah Winfrey, accusing her of bending the truth to support Kamala Harris Smith's critique, questions Winfrey's credibility, adding another layer to the debate around celebrity influence and political endorsements in the current election.
Who says you can't go home again? After watching the Obamas last night, that was some epic fire, wasn't it? Some epic fire. We're now so fired up, we can't wait to leave here and do something.
Brandy Jackson has spoken out about Oprah Winfrey sharing her perspective on Oprah's influence and past actions. Jackson's comments add to the ongoing discourse around Winfrey's impact and approach to sensitive issues, sparking conversation about accountability and media influence.
And what we're going to do is elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States. I am so honored to have been asked to speak on tonight's theme about what matters most to me, to you, and all of us Americans: freedom.
Oprah started by reminding everyone that when it comes to important issues, it's not just about politics. It's about standing up for values we all share. She emphasized that voters should think critically, choosing leaders who bring unity rather than division. Oprah calls for people to be wary of rhetoric that divides, saying, "True leadership isn't about creating fear, but fostering understanding." Her message, "Think wisely, America."
There are people who want you to see our country as a nation of us against them, people who want to scare you, who want to rule you, people who'd have you believe that books are dangerous and assault rifles are safe, that there's a right way to worship and a wrong way to love.
Oprah's appeal didn't stop there. She referenced moments in history when people fought hard for justice and equality. She spoke of the late Congressman John Lewis, who dedicated his life to bringing change. Oprah believes it's time for voters to embody this same spirit, encouraging everyone to stand up for what's right, even if it's tough. Her words serve as a reminder of the responsibility we all hold.
People who seek first to divide and then to conquer. But here's the thing. When we stand together, it is impossible to conquer us. In the words of an extraordinary American, the late Congressman John Lewis.
With passion, Oprah also addressed the power of unity, highlighting that people across the country, no matter their background, have a stake in building a better future. She pointed out that this election isn't just about choosing a candidate, it's about choosing a path forward that promotes inclusivity and opportunity for all. We're all in this together, she said. Her message is clear. The future of democracy depends on us.
These abortion bans have been passed that criminalize healthcare providers. In a couple of states, prison for life, Oprah. prison for life in a couple of states for a doctor or a nurse who provides health care.
That was one of the most emotional moments from this event. Oprah was crying. I mean, many people in the audience were crying, and it really took me back, I mean, obviously, to the Oprah Winfrey that everyone had in their living rooms for, decades.
Oprah's call to action went beyond words. She encouraged everyone watching to reflect on the values they want to uphold, urging them to remember the progress generations before us fought to secure. Oprah's rallying cry is simple yet powerful. Let's not turn back the clock on progress. Choose leaders who value truth, who prioritize the well-being of all, and who embody the spirit of justice and compassion.
Will this be effective?
Well, I think the abortion issue is effective. Whether Oprah is the person that brings it to us, Kamala Harris is the person that brings it to us. The thing is, stripping women of their rights in this country was always inevitably going to lead to death. And Amber's a perfect example of that. The doctors knew exactly what to do when she arrived at the hospital, and they waited 20 hours to do the necessary DNC. And she died because they waited too long. It's not that they didn't know what to do. It's not that there was a crisis. It was a completely, as her mother said, preventable death.
The event highlighted how restrictive abortion laws impact real lives. Oprah, in her classic emotional style, underscored the tragedy by calling it a preventable loss, with many in the audience moved to tears. This moment captured the emotional stakes of the issue and emphasized Harris's stance on defending reproductive rights, a powerful topic Oprah hopes will resonate deeply with voters.
That happens when you take people's rights from them and you say all of this fits into this one tank, when it doesn't. Our healthcare is our bodies, it's our lives, it's our livelihoods. Quite frankly, it's an economic issue. I don't know why we keep separating the economy from abortion. How many people are sitting at your kitchen table is a kitchen table issue. So abortion is center. Whether Oprah brings it to us or not, abortion will be center to this election.
The question now is, can Oprah's endorsement be a game changer? Political analysts suggest that while Oprah's influence is undeniable, it may not hold the same power as it did back in 2008. Younger voters, those under 30, might not feel the same connection to her. However, her support does bring added visibility, especially among those familiar with her decades-long advocacy.
Are part of a strategy that the Harris campaign is putting out there, which is to largely avoid doing interviews. They're not necessarily settings that where she shines, so they're doing this instead. And this was very different for her. Might it work? Will this be enough? I mean, we have less than 50 days until the next election. So
the answer is it is not enough. It will work. Partly.
Oprah's alignment with Kamala Harris is seen by some as an essential boost, especially as Harris tries to gain traction among base voters to secure victory. Harris needs stronger support in swing states and from crucial demographics such as Black voters. Oprah's endorsement could be just the momentum Harris needs to reach those communities. Yet experts argue that Harris still needs to do more. While events like this are significant, undecided voters want answers on issues. Beyond carefully planned appearances, the challenge remains for Harris to connect deeply with voters and address their pressing concerns head-on. Oprah's presence is a start, but is it enough to win hearts and votes?